Hello, everyone. I'm going to be sharing the frequency intel for this coming time. We're in April 9th, and I have been really tapping into these new ideas, these new awarenesses that I'm excited to share with you all. The theme that is really coming through this week is creating in new and novel ways. And so that's nothing new. I mean, we started creating in new and novel ways. We could look at many markers along the way of this trajectory of the awakening of humanity, and the new energies that we are accessing, these new frequencies that we're accessing, we're needing to learn and understand how to access the new energies, the new frequencies, the new dimension, the new bandwidth of information that is available to us as creator beings. And so we talk about that, the dimensions in terms of the third dimension and the fifth dimension. And the rules of engagement in these two-dimensional time-space frequency bandwidths are different. They are opposite each other. So we can think of that as the third dimension as a closed system and the fifth dimension as an open system. And how does that kind of play out in relatable terms is the dimensional rules of the third dimension are based on scarcity and lack programming. They were created in the framework of competition, of duality, of the belief structures, the concepts and constructs that created hierarchical systems, that created lack programming. They created our financial system. They created these data information systems, created the system that we are seeing fall apart, and that we are choosing, those of us who are awake, to come out of and to create in new and novel ways. And so that's where we are right now. In the third dimension, there's a need for certainty because we're in a closed system. We need to make choices based on the factual evidence of what has come before. So it's a cyclical system. And that's the system that we are moving out of because there is no room for expansion and there's no room for novelty in that system. However, the fifth dimension is the platform that is created on the premise of cooperation instead of competition. And we're seeing cooperative living environments. We're seeing cooperative healthcare systems opening up and expanding all across the globe, and people wanting this. People are asking for this. People are creating it, and creating it from a knowing that what I do affects the whole, and how I live affects the whole. The choices I make affect the whole. And right, so the fifth dimensional system is created on the knowing of infinite abundance. It is created on the reality that it's literally how we were created as a species. And we've been playing in this false field of duality. And now we're choosing to move out of that system that is no longer supportive to our growth and expansion. And we are moving into the fifth dimension, where there is availability, where there is amplification, where there is more. We are moving to play in the field of infinity, in the 0-point field. And this is what all of our beautiful neuroscientists and other scientists are expanding the awareness of in the collective. Heart Math Institute, for instance, is a beautiful source to look at and to dive into their information, because they're creating from the fifth dimension. It's already happening, and we're moving out of that scarcity mentality, the mentality of sacrifice. If I do this, then I can't have that. So that is the theme that we're working with in this coming cycle, and the energy that we're playing with, the frequency that's available to us is new, and it's an acceleration frequency. So what I was really feeling into and listening to today was there is an acceleration, and there is a availability for us to move into this new paradigm at this time, fully supported. And so what I want to share that I heard was, ready or not, there's going to be forward movement in your life. So how do you want to participate in that forward movement? Do you want to move from the old closed system of believing that I did this, so therefore I'm going to get that? And that is based on manifestation principles. We're leaving those principles and moving into these new ways of creating, as knowing ourselves as the creator, and moving into the fractal ability to create in multiple time frames at one time. So we're leaving linear time, and we're moving into this open source of the ability of Kairos, of divine time. And that time is fractalized. It's ever creating. And so this beautiful energy that is available to us is this acceleration, and we can choose to create in that acceleration very consciously. And so this is available to all of us in this moment, and we can utilize this new way of being in the world. And we need to practice doing this, because, and these are some of the strategies that are really wanting to be shared for us to be able to start to break our awareness that linear time is that we are bound to linear time. We are not bound to linear time. It's the data in our mind, in our conscious and subconscious mind, that has us believe that there's a finiteness to life, that there's lack, that there's not enough, that there is a lack of availability. And so as we are reorienting to a new way of being in the world, to the divine mind rather than the human mind, we need to work with our magnetic holographic fields to demagnetize the old system out of our paradigm and magnetize to us the new system into our paradigm. And why is that? Because we are magnetic systems, and magnets attract and they demagnetize, they reject. So that is how our energy systems work. That's how our field of awareness works. What is familiar to us, we magnetize towards us. What is unfamiliar to us, we demagnetize, we push it away. And you can notice this in your life in so many ways. This is how patterns of experience continue to unfold in your life, no matter how much work you do to transform the pattern and the reason for the pattern being in your life. We continue to magnetize to us what is familiar, and we demagnetize away from us what is unfamiliar. So as we're moving into the fifth dimension, this beautiful open system, this fractalography of infinite possibilities, infinite timelines, infinite creation, infinite resources, we are not familiar with that. We're not familiar with creating in that way. I mean, we may be somewhat familiar with it. Some of us have experiences where we drop into the flow state. This is part of understanding, excuse me, how the flow state works. And so when we drop into that state of flow of what seems to be timelessness, I'm going to have a sip. All right. When we move into that state of flow and that state of timelessness, we are practicing having that become a familiar resource to us. We haven't been trained to do that. We've been trained just the opposite, to be connected to and need for certainty. We go to the same job, we do the same thing, we drive the same directions, we do the same things over and over and over again, and that keeps us in the cycles of certainty. And so as we are learning to move out of the third dimension, the closed system that will continue to repeat the cycles of, you can see this in the collective. You can see this, what the Second World War was supposed to be the war that ended all wars, and we're still having wars. That's because we have been creating out of the closed system. And so as we're moving to open up and create out of the open system of the fifth dimension, we have to habituate our frequencies, our holographic fields, our auras, our chakra systems, all of our energy centers to a new way of creating, a new way of relating. And so one of the ways that I want to invite us into to help us become familiar with this new way of creating, so that, right, we are used to a certainty, we're used to a certain quota of availability, and now we're moving into this open system of infinite availability. And so in doing that, we need to become familiar with uncertainty. And we spoke into this in the last frequency intel. That was that may have been the theme for the week, of uncertainty. And so we need to become very, very, very comfortable in uncertainty, in newness, in novelty, in the avant-garde, in expecting to see things that we've never seen before, in being able to open our senses, our transpersonal senses, our senses beyond the personal, our ability to see, hear, feel, and know in the invisible world, or the inner world of energy, what we would, as humans, would say is invisible. It's not actually invisible. It is, there are dimensions upon dimensions upon dimensions upon dimensions in our reality, but our brains are coded to only believe what it has experienced previously. So we are decoding our minds, we're decoding the data field out of our minds and moving into the ability to tap into divine mind, the information, the awareness of all knowing, the Akashic field. And so to do that, we need to practice being with uncertainty in order to make it familiar to us. So one of the most beautiful ways to do that is to bring to your awareness something that you're unsure about, something that feels uncertain in your reality. And we're all being presented with these beautiful opportunities to change, and so therefore there are a lot of things in our reality that are uncertain right now. And so in order to become familiar with certainty and to then be able to magnetize to us infinite possibility, where we don't need to know the outcome of and be certain about the outcome, we can sit in silence, become still as we can be, and to bring into your awareness something that you are uncertain about, something that makes you uncomfortable, and to literally welcome that experience, that awareness, that question mark in. And to do this very, very thoughtfully and with a lot of compassion for our human selves who are transitioning out of a system that we've known for generation after generation after generation. And so to bring to mind something that you have the ability to sit with, that something that you're available to be present with. So bringing into your awareness what you are able to presence in uncertainty, and allow that uncertainty to exist in acceptance of it. And to just notice and be still with the uncertainty without needing to change it, without needing to fix it, without needing to figure it out. And so giving your mind the instructions to listen and to not interfere with what you are doing at the time, because the mind is coded, the mind is programmed to demagnetize out of your field uncertainty. So in order to become familiar with it, we need to sort of familiarize our systems with uncertainty and the knowing that we are creators and that we have choice in that uncertainty. Often what happens is we believe that we don't have any choices, or that we have a limited number of choices in uncertain times, in uncertain situations, in uncertain experiences, in uncertain relationships. And that is simply not a true reality. We have infinite choices, and we need to become familiar with how to tap into those choices. So that's why this beautiful strategy of sitting with the discomfort of uncertainty and making uncertainty familiar to us, and then being okay with any fears that arise in those uncertainties, and recognizing, using that beautiful way of discerning, is this fear legitimate? Is it true? Does it have any basis in my ability to survive? And if it doesn't, it's an illusory fear, and allow that fear to dissolve out of your experience. And it will dissolve if you presence yourself with it and you don't ignore, deny, suppress, or reject it. It will dissolve because fear wants your attention. So as we're doing this beautiful practice, what is going to happen is that we are beginning to access the field of the fifth dimension, the magnetic vibratory fields of new creations, of infinite possibilities, will begin to present themselves to us when we sit in the uncertainty, because it's unlocking the boundedness of the old systems that we have been creating out of. And this is a beautiful experience to have. And presencing yourself with knowing that when we become present, our internal and external visioning systems expand past the bounds of the current reality that we have been living in and the data that's stored in the human mind. So this is such an expansive, beautiful practice to use. And I want to even move away from the idea of practice. This is a way of being in the world. And so using this system, this new unfamiliar way of tapping into the field of infinite possibilities, expands avant-garde ideas. They will drop into our system. And one of the fascinating things that brought this into my awareness, into my reality, is I have been training and supporting and stewarding orchids, the beautiful creatures that we have here as companions on our planet, for a really long time. And so my familiar awareness of orchids is that their bloom spikes, the flowers will die and wither, and the plant will regenerate itself, and new blooms will come to that same bloom spike. Well, I've had a totally new awareness that I didn't even know was possible with two of the orchids that I have in a nursery. I have a nursery for orchids when they're not in flower. And two of the orchids have started growing new orchids on the bloom spike rather than flowers. I had no idea that was even possible. So as I've been working with opening and expanding my ability to receive the fifth dimensional frequencies of infinite possibilities in these beautiful systems of collaboration, I am having new experiences. And that was a tangible experience that I wanted to share with you because it's such a beautiful example of what I am sharing with you, what we are sharing with you in the frequencies that are available to us now. And so that is a parallel reality for me. That reality is a parallel reality for me. And so when we focus on what we want to create instead of what we don't want to create, new possibilities, new awarenesses, avant-garde ideas, parallel realities, open up and expand our ability to vision, our ability to create from a vision that is aligned with the frequency of yes, that's aligned with the frequency of gratitude, that's aligned with the frequency of limitless love, of knowing that I can dissolve the boundaries, the edges, the borders of my holographic field and become one with all that is. And therefore, I can access all that is in totality. So just a little bit of love and encouragement that I want to share with all of us is this idea of Kairos, of divine time, that is infinite fractalization, and Chronos, linear time, that keeps us bound to the system, to the closed network of repeating over and over again the cycles of creation. And so I have been working with the cycles of creation for forever, for as long as I can remember. And now I am stepping out of those cycles of creation, and I don't know where that is taking me in my awareness of my expansion of my consciousness. And I am choosing to say yes to that, to say yes to, I have no idea what will come into my awareness that will move me into this beautiful fifth dimensional frequency of creation that doesn't include the cycles of linear time, of Chronos, the cycle, the hoop of life. I have no idea what is coming, but I know that it is expansion. I know that it is anchoring in the awareness that there is a paradise to live in, and I want to be part of creating that here on Earth now. I want to be part of Homo Luminous. I want to be part of the expansion of the consciousness of the species of humanity into the knowing that we are infinite, timeless creators. And so this is the beautiful energy of Kairos is the flow state. It is that mythic time where we accomplish superhuman feats, right? Where we download inspirations and birth onto the planet new ideas of creation that have never been here before. That's how I'm able to share this information with you, this beautiful, this web of life, this internet that these beautiful human beings downloaded and then said yes and kept stepping in and saying yes to the uncertainty, to the unknown, and continued to create and pull in from the field of awareness around us, from that infinite field of possibility, the how to do that, and how to give us this beautiful platform that we all connect with infinitely all around the world. It just blows my mind. It brings me into the state of yes, yes to life, yes to being here on the planet, and this beautiful state of mythic time brings synchronicities in. It brings in auspicious actions that we can take to move into that beautiful system of, right, it's happening right now. We are moving forward, and we can do that consciously with these beautiful tools of awareness, these new ways of being, these new systems that are coming through for all of us to access and put our spotlight of attention and awareness on, so that we magnetize to us that experience, and that we grow it into the collective field of awareness that's accessible to all. And so that is the frequency intel for this coming cycle of April 9th and moving forward. And I just want to say that whenever you are tuning in and coming upon this information, it is the perfect divine timing for you. And that is the beautiful Kairos, right? That is divine time, where time is an infinity loop. It's not a linear track of this happened and then this happened and then this happened and then this happened. It's all fractalized. It's all happening at the same time. So just beautifully trusting your divine knowing of your sacred self to present to you and bring to you the information, the ideas, the awarenesses, the ahas in each and every now moment when you are available to receive them, and how they can expand your consciousness. And so I want to say thank you so much for tuning in and being here with me. Your frequency, whenever you're listening to this, is contributing to the availability of this information to help us stabilize in these very uncertain times, and to bring the heart expanding awareness of knowing ourselves as the highly attuned creators that we are, as we move out of the closed system of linear time and into the open system of infinite time. All right, my beautiful friends, I will upload this to my YouTube channel, Kim Pence Light, and I'll pop it over on Facebook as well. And please share your experiences, your awarenesses, your wisdom, how this is landing for you. If you have any questions, if you have topics that you would like for me to channel on, I am so open and available to just step more and more into this ability to be of divine service and to do what opens my heart and brings me so much joy, so much fulfillment, so much magic, so many miracles, and just expands my awareness in each and every moment. I love you infinitely. Have a beautiful, beautiful coming cycle.